I actually kind of misspoke at the end of my other video that I submitted. Uh, you can apply these principles until you're blue in the face, yes, and that is a part of being formed, because that is part of the way that we are transformed. As we start, you know, it gets tossed around. Be more like Christ. Be more like Christ. Be like Christ, and that is the principle that we ought to apply. The way we apply that principle is doing as He did, loving as He loved, serving as He served, and having the humility of Christ. And that was a huge part of my formation from when I was a kid up until now. Um, so yeah, I misspoke. Yeah, that is how you are. That is a part of the reason, or part of the way that you are transformed. Right. So I can safely say that I was transformed by, praxis, by doing all of these things. But it wasn't until I started like really digging into it, even even before Jessup, and especially at Jessup within the last 2.5 years that I've been here, there's been a lot of growth, with academia, but even more so than that is just understanding the importance of spiritual transformation. Because a lot of my other biblical studies major friends are more academic than I will ever be, and they're great, but I hesitate. I don't say this because I don't think that I'm not saying that they don't understand transformation. It's just that that's their niche, and you know, from my perspective, like learning about all of this other stuff is great, but it doesn't really. It ought to, but studying it as it is not what really transforms you. Sure, you can dig deeper. You can really dig into the history of the Bible. You can really dig into the why, and just trying to understand a lot of these doctrines and whatnot. But that's not what transforms you. It's applying them. It's not reading them at face value. It's digging, understanding why Paul wrote this, or why Jesus said this, and why any of this stuff actually matters. We can dig into the history, and that's very beneficial, because we need that. We need to understand what's being written, but also why, and why it matters for us. Because when we do that, we are allowing the words written in Scripture to transform us. We're allowing them to pierce our hardened hearts and allowing ourselves to be transformed. So I can safely say that over the last 12 years that I've been a Christian, there's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of transformation. People all the time tell me I'm nice, or I'm really cool, and I always say, well, I'm not nice, but there's been a lot of change from when I was much younger up until now. Even throughout my youth. And I can safely say it wasn't me. If it was up to me, I wouldn't have changed. Or I could have tried, but I likely would have fell into my old ways time and time again. So spiritual formation has more to do with Christ than it will ever have to do with me, because it's about the work that He has done in my life. And it's about how I respond to that. Do I allow His words and His love to affect me and to transform me, or not?